Go, go. What is this thing doing? I think. Okay, I think I'm live. I hope I'm live. I've got to play with all my settings for the laptop, get the glare off of me. I'm okay, waiting for the thing to pop up. Come on, come on. Turn the sound off on the laptop. Turn the brightness down on the laptop. That'll help. I look good on my phone, but on the laptop, I look like I'm whited out. Let me try moving you. Ugh, I can't get a hold of it. Darn it. That way. That's a little better. That's a bit better. So, hi, Val. Oh, Val, are you the one that got something off of eBay? I think. And I'll send it with whoever it was. I'm going to send it with their stuff from the live sale. So, hopefully, I'm not too whited out. How is up close stuff? Well, up close stuff looks like it'll be fine. Let's do a test here. Let's do a test just to see. We're still going to have focus fun. Okay, so that stuff doesn't look as whited out when it's up close. Okay, Val, I'm gonna send it with the stuff from the live sale because I have it sitting right here, the Vermont one. So, and for anybody who wants to know what this is, these are in my eBay store. I have quite a few left that are different states, and they're vintage decals that are the little map decals from different states. I think I still have about 15 different states in my eBay store. Dusted Finds. Hello, that's a new name. And you're in California. My sister-in-law is in California. She is in Upland, California, which is kind of funny because I live right up the hill from Upland, Pennsylvania. My eldest brother used to live out there. He passed away last August, but Linda is from Michigan. Hi, honey. Glad to see you. And I know Jody and Pat and Sam, they're just finishing up for their maker's sale. And there we go. So they'll be sending people along shortly. And anybody who's new to the channel, there we go. My email is right there. And you can email me if you're planning on putting in for anything tonight. You can email me your name, your address for shipping, and your PayPal email. And don't forget to put your YouTube name so I know if it's different from your actual name so that I know who you are. Upland's just 15 minutes from you, Jade? Which one, PA or California? Or another one somewhere else? I shouldn't lean like that. That hurts. Let me turn this way. There we go. So tonight's sale is not, I mean, usually I have 20 or 30 items and we just keep going. I can't do that tonight. I have to be up. And we all know Nancy's a night owl. I'm not a morning person. No. But I have to be up to be at the spine doctor in the morning. And they are fitting me in as soon as the office opens at 8 to put some trigger spot shots into my spine where I have the pinched nerve because I've waited too long. Hello, Lavish Monkey. Oh, now it's Lavish Monkey Mango. Melinda, you're driving me nuts. Oh, my nose is itching. Where's my tissue, my handkerchiefs? No, my handkerchiefs are upstairs. Oh. Okay, what note was that? Linda, you miss me. What, because I was on earlier, or you missed me because you were there earlier and everybody missed me when I switched with Patrick. And then he got a part in another show just because they asked him to. Because he had auditioned and didn't get it, and then something happened to the guy who did, and he announced that on some live of his, and I went, I love you, darling, but I'm not switching again. most of my viewers and buyers are night owl people. So I am so happy, so happy to be back at late night. And since I see a few people I haven't seen before, like Jade Doe, we jokingly call us all night owls because we are. I started doing my live sales at 11 p.m. because I used to work for Wawa, which is like Sheetz, Turkey Hill. I don't know what they have on the West Coast for convenience stores that include like a deli kind of thing where you can get sandwiches and things. Usually attached to a gas station. But I would work, by the time I started the channel, I was not working third shift anymore. I was working second. So I would get out of work at 10 and be able to get home to start the sale at 11. And so that's how it ended up starting off in 2020. I have to find out when my anniversary date is. I think it's in May. When I started my channel. I think May something is when I'll hit my 2 years of being on YouTube. And I'll tell you, it's been a really, really hell of a learning curve. Oh my goodness. It's quite the learning curve. So well, these aren't really truck stops because there isn't anywhere to park a truck because they're more in the urban areas. Mind you, I know like there are some, and I don't know what they're called. I've run into them when we were on Boy Scout trips heading for, sometimes these summer camps are hours and hours away because they might be in another state. And we stopped at one place that was a truck stop on the interstate. And they actually had it. You could get a shower in these. They had all the stuff there if you needed to shave. That you could buy the stuff. I was like this, and it was really geared towards the truckers. Yes, 7-Eleven is kind of like a Wawa. 7-Elevens are still franchises though, and Wawa's all corporate owned. So, oh my goodness, my hip. Can't wait for these shots tomorrow. So I only have 15 items tonight because of the fact that, a lot of times we go and we'll go until close to 3 a.m. And I cannot do that tonight because I've got to, I have to be awake by 7, which basically means the first alarm's going to go off at 6. Second alarm's going to go off at 7. And by then, Mike will be home from working third shift. So my son will be home and will drag me out of bed at 7 so that I can be awake enough to throw clothes on, and he will drive me to go get the shots in my spine. That dish on the thumbnail, that is an art glass piece by a Peter Zimmerman, and it's one of his earlier pieces. Now that's a contemporary piece. He is still producing stuff. I have that. I have a piece of pink depression glass made by Jeanette, and I have a mid-century modern black and gold little trinket dish. I don't think it's an ashtray. And that I always try to have some glass, Vicky, but for those of you who are here tonight, since I see so many new names, let me explain all this chaos behind me, which will explain the odd mix you're going to see in my sales. I've inherited three houses. That included the house I'm in, which was built in 1911, which 1920s, early 1920s photograph of it is what my thumbnail for my channel is, which was given to me by the Wetherill family that the house was built for. And but with one of those inheritances came 3 storage units as well. And I had spent a long time, quite a few years, working on getting a lot of stuff sorted out and sold on eBay and sold on Etsy. And then I ended up downsized out of a job, and I had it down to 1 storage unit, 1 big storage unit. And this is after like all the big stuff, anything that was worth sending to an auction house was sent. So it's all the small stuff. One of those inheritances was a massive book collection. Some of these boxes of books I've opened up and have found things, porcelain things, sometimes tucked inside with the books. It's a miracle they weren't broken. I'm in Pennsylvania. But as we go through, of course, with all the stuff moved into this house, and I didn't have any living room furniture, so this is my living room, and it's behind the Afghans here. It's all just rows of boxes. I can get in at this end, and I can get in at that end. And so we work our way through it. And we even have, and I'm back to it now, if you look at my channel, there is a thing called a black hole challenge, because one of the upstairs bedrooms had become a storage spot for some of my craft stuff and stuff of my mother's, fabric and stuff she had bought. And that is going to become the office, so that I can get all the filming, I can get shelves up, because I don't even have shelves here. So everybody who wants to be in on the Black Hole Challenge can be. Your challenge is whatever you decide it to be. If it's cleaning out a closet that you have been avoiding, if it's going through that kitchen counter that's piled high with stuff, you haven't seen it. I have one of those counters too. We'll go through that one of these days. But whatever your challenge is, I'm your biggest cheerleader to help you get through it, because if I can get through the massive quantity that's here, you could take your time, do it in increments. There's tips and tricks in a couple of the videos. And so we'll all do that together. Since I have, now it all went on hold last year because last May I fell. And we landed a very weird way, damaged my hip, damaged my spine. I ended up with 2 pinched nerves. I now have just 1 pinched nerve. I have 2 hernias from traction therapy, but I'm movable now. And I go tomorrow morning. These shots are to get there's trigger points that they'll put little steroid shots in. I've waited way too long. And so my mobility is really difficult right now. So after tomorrow, I'll be good and I can get things caught up and get things moving, get packing done, and start working on that Black Hole Challenge too. Now, Pennsylvania is a wide state. I am in the southeastern corner of Pennsylvania, so I am below Philadelphia, but I am above the state line with Delaware. So I will be shipping from basically almost the farthest you could get, almost, on the East Coast to wherever you all are. I do use pirate ship for shipping, so I try to get you the lowest price possible. If you have quite a few books, I do usually try to use media mail, so depending on the amount of books you have or the size of them, you may have them separate from your other stuff, which will help save with some of the shipping a little bit. Yeah, opposite sides of the country. Hello, Fiona. Are they just finishing up? I told Jody I was going to just talk for the first 15 minutes so they could finish theirs. They were so kindly telling people about my sale. So I figured the least I could do was just kind of chat. But now you tell me on your screen, do I look like super badly overexposed and whited out? Because on my phone, I don't look too bad, but I'm looking at my laptop and it looks really whited out to me. And it might have to tweak the lights here. I might have to turn one of them off. That's the other thing is when I have an actual room, very pale. Let's try. Come here, you. Try turning that one off. That's better. There's Book. Hello, darling. Yeah, I was afraid of that. That definitely looks a little better. I don't know why, but ever since the light bulbs all burn out from the 2 lamps, I have not been able to get the balance on the lighting right, and I don't know what wattages were in. I know that one, that first bulb was a 40-watt lamp, and I think there's a 60 in there now. And then I don't know what was in the desk lamp that's up top there. That's another reason why I want an office. Then I can get proper lights and get stuff set up better and have some fun with it. So yeah, well, I'm always kind of ghost-like. So, oh, which video was it? One of the videos I just did on my channel, one person caught it and they emailed me about it because on, where is it? Because I'm in my hallway. Okay, it says it's from 2 weeks ago. It says back to being a night owl, the Easter sale at 11 p.m. Okay, so it's from 2 weeks ago. And there's a picture that I point to that's behind me. It's my graduation from high school picture. And somebody snagged it and realized, they went, wait a minute, that can't be you because you said you had red hair and that picture has brown hair. And then, and as you could see the train of thought in what they emailed me as they typed, because it said, oh, wait a minute, that picture's underexposed. They knew enough about photography to get it. I have like a little bit of red tint to my face now, but even well into my early 20s, I had very porcelain skin, like doll level porcelain color. And so for the photographer for high school to get that photo, he turned off most of his lights, had to backlight me, and just put the smallest, lowest light he could only on my face. So my hair, even though it was red, all looks completely dark brown. And like all around me looks almost black because he just couldn't balance out the color. And somebody got it. It's like, oh yeah, that photo is underexposed. I'm like, yeah, it is. It's been a challenge my entire life, and it's not any different now. So yeah, that picture is gorgeous. I think that's the best picture of me, that high school picture. I was 19 when I graduated high school, and that picture I think is one of the best ones ever taken of me. So what do we have here? Who is here? I've turned the brightness down so far on my laptop I can't see the chat. I need to up that a tiny bit. So yes, April Fool's Day is tomorrow. So I decided I'd behave and I wasn't going to prank anybody. I was going to have a special visitor after midnight, but then when they called me and said, "Look, we can fit you in, so you don't have to wait another week to get these shots in my spine," then I was like, "Well, that's out the window then." I'm not gonna I'm not gonna stay here for 3 hours. Just not gonna be able to. Hello, Pat. Well, thank you, darling. Thumbs up matter. Yes, thank you very much. So, now many of you who are repeat ones know that I have been routinely behind in shipping. I'm getting there. I'm getting caught up. The shots in the spine will help greatly because then I won't have problem of I pack 2 boxes and then I need to go lay flat because the shots will take away a lot of that trigger point problem. So, I know Fiona has a box on the way. There's a box for Paula going out first thing in the morning. Book Bewitched. Darling, I made a mistake. I sent your box already, but you still have an invoice. I don't usually do that. Usually I wait till the invoice is paid and then I send it. And I had so many boxes going out the one day that I just went on automatic pilot and I had just printed out like 6 different postage things. And one of them was for our dear book. And I sent it and he was like, "Oh, whoops." Yes, Marianne, you do. Matter of fact, I thought I had yours up there to weigh. And then I have 2 more over there to weigh and 1 at my feet. And the one for serendipity is in the playroom. See, I've been a good girl. I've been busy today. Oh my goodness. So, oh good. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 new registrations. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. So let's get started tonight so we can get through these, get to the offer ups. We'll start off with something. So as some of you know, some of you don't, I do still thrift and look because you guys in the reseller buyer community love your vintage glass, and I did not inherit vintage glass. So I do usually go and thrift, but there's a huge variety. We never know what I'm going to have when I have sales. So I got to the last of well, I shouldn't say the last of the boxes under my bed. I got through the last of the stuff of one of the underbed boxes. So some of that's here tonight. The other box that's still under my bed is all fairy stuff. So I don't know that any of that's leaving. But I did find these. It's a salt and pepper shaker set, but they're from the 70s. They have the little sticker that says Japan. The one thing that drives me nuts is after having dropped this phone one too many times, it no longer wants to do close-ups. But it has castle. Focus, you little dweeb. Nope, it never wants to do it for me. Never wants to focus for me. So they have plastic stoppers, but they do have their little paper label that just says Japan. And they are, look, it's so dim and now I can't read it. I'm pretty sure these says Walt Disney Productions. Yep. It says Walt Disney Productions on them. There's no chips or cracks. And these are from the 1970s. And these are $10. And they're number 74. $10, number 74. I do offer ups, and if you ever see anything that you think should be an offer, you can type offer in the chat and we'll make it an offer. Shipping is not included. Like I said, I do use pirate ship and I do combine shipping as much as I can. Vicky Porter, oh yeah, I collect fairies. I love fairies. And when I can finally have room to move and like go through stuff and actually pull stuff out, I'll probably be purging some. Every now and then I have a fairy in the sale because I've gone through a box and purged. And I see Serendipity by Melanie has come in. She's another one, has a channel. She's in Canada. Hey, Mr. L. Page has come in. Gabrielle Lish. Gabby is here. Paula's here. A lot more people coming in. Now I have this, and it's a little, it says Bohemia Glass, made in Czechoslovakia. It has the original sticker to it. Focus. Focus. Honestly, this phone hates me because I've dropped it one time too many. Now this is only not very big. It's only 3 inches tall. And it's a lovely little piece, though it does have on these 2 corners. Now I looked with the jeweler's loop and they don't seem to be chipped. It just seems to be because that's where the points all meet. Point for here, and the point up this way. So they're a little, you could feel them. They're a little sharp, but there's no chips to them. But it's a pretty little, just a pretty little vase. 3 inches tall, Bohemia Glass from Czechoslovakia. This is $11 and it's number 13. $11, number 13. Can I put that you can see this better? It's hard to see the pattern on this. But it is a cute little thing. That came out of that box. Now, Mr. L. Page, isn't it always the width, not the length that matters? Well, hello, Iris. Hello, hello. Now, I have a piece of ephemera, which is going to surprise some of you because actually, book, I resent it today. Maybe she should check her spam folder. And book, if there's a different email I should be sending it to, then please shoot me an email and let me know if the email has changed for where I should send your invoices. Now, I am an assistant scoutmaster in Boy Scouts, but I deal with the Boy Scouts, the older kids. The running joke in our troop is that Miss Krause won't know your name until you've been here for 2 years. It's not exactly wrong, because I don't deal with the youngest ones that come in at like 11 years old at 5th grade. I'm mostly dealing with the ones from about 13 up. But this is for Cub Scouts. And I'm offering this as ephemera. This is a 1975. Bear is one of the kind of ranks in Cub Scouts. But this one is really good. There's a lot of things you could use for junk journaling because there's all these great line drawings with basic colors. What I like about this is before the big rewrite where they took all the fun stuff out. This has instructions how to make your own crystal radio set, radio receiver. It's got a thing on how to maintain your canoe. But I like the aircraft ones because it shows you how to build a basic little plane that it's basically a little glider. But it has a lot of photos in it, as well as some crafter things in the back, things about weather, American folklore. It's got ways to make a backyard gym. So there's a lot of helpful stuff in there as well. But if you wanted to just give it to a kid so they can just play around and learn stuff, that's great. But if you wanted, there's even woodworking. If you wanted to just use it for junk journaling, for all the images, you could. For a collector, this one's not really, somebody blacked out in marker the kid's name. So I don't know that for collectors of Boy Scout stuff, this particular one from the 70s on up, these handbooks are all over the place. So I don't have a problem with selling it to somebody who's going to take it apart, because this particular one is very common right now. So the 1975 Bear Cub Scout book is $6. It's number 11. $6, number 11. And you'll have that for all the junk journaling you could want. I see. Mary. Mary, didn't I just see in the chat you said you have a grandson that's a Boy Scout? Or Cub Scout? Okay. Oh, don't avalanche on me here. I've got like pile of bills and mail I have to deal with right there. My son, funnily enough, never was a Cub Scout, because in our area, they kept trying 3 different times. They tried at his elementary school to get a Cub Scout pack going, and they couldn't, because they couldn't get enough parents involved. If you don't get enough parents to have a committee, you can't recharter or charter in the first place. Okay, let's do the first piece of glass that is an offer up. I did not find the maker on this. Look at how reflective that is. So let me put in the start. And this is a fantastic little mid-century modern tray. Started at, all right, we're going to start this at $8. I did put a decimal in there, right? It doesn't say 800. But it has the kind of a Grecian key pattern that goes all the way around. And then it has these wonderful squares all in gold. And they're gold, and then there's this little bit of white, like to give it the depth. So like this line is white, this little line is white. It reflects so much, it's hard to get it to show you the pattern because it's in such great shape. So this is an offer up, and there's no chips. I put my fingers all over the corners looking for them. Didn't find any bites. So I see Vicky is in at 8. And if anyone wants to go higher, now from point to point, it's 6 inches. Is it? Just a hair under. So from here to here, it's just a hair under 6 inches. And then down here, because it does cut in, it's 5.5 down here. Does it look like George Briard? I couldn't find a match to tell me who could have made it. So far we are with Vicky Porter at 8. if anyone wants to go higher, and if you getting fingerprints all over it, but when you hold it up and you can see through it, and it's this wonderful smoke kind of gray, dark gray is the glass. The glass is actually a tinted grayish kind of glass. Yeah, I couldn't figure it out. So then you guys are getting it rather than me put it on eBay. I've heard of George Briard, but I don't really know very much about him. And so I see Paula has come in at 10. I know, right? This thing was just going to look lovely, but it's just not my style. And I saw it and I thought, I'm going to rescue this, because they were picking glass up off the shelf and chucking it in a bin at the Goodwill. And this one was there, and this one was in great shape. There was a second one, but all this was really badly worn. And this one was perfect. I couldn't find any wear marks, any scratches on this anywhere. And I didn't find a signature, but I didn't think to really look for one. But there's not too many spots where he could put a signature, because there's nothing on the back for a signature, right? Nope. No signature anywhere. But it's very mid-century modern, and I thought it was really, really cool. And so we have Paula at 10. And so Vicky, if you wanted to go higher, you can. I'm going to start calling it. I mean, the other one that they, and I watched as Daryl had picked this one, they did take the other one and throw it away. But I could understand why, because the other one, I think the other one had actually been used as an ashtray, because most of these were destroyed in the other one that was on there, on the shelf. And they were walking around picking up stuff that was broken, that was cracked. And so, okay, so Vicky is out. Thank you for putting that you are out. And I'm going to, I have to tilt back because my keyboard's underneath my desk on a little shelf here. So we're going to do going once. Oh, look, cap lock's on. How'd that happen? You're always looking out for dishes and bowls for your crystals. Oh, cool. I don't have too many crystals. I used to have a piece of rose quartz. I don't know where that disappeared. I think that got lost in the move when I moved back in, when my mother was getting frailer. And then I got my nephew to raise, so it was a good thing I had moved back in. So sold. So we have sold. So it is sold for 10 to Paula. Paula, 1, 2, 3. All right. Let's put you over here. Skunky Junk. Hi, Sean. How are you? Oh, and Vintage Finds. Oh yeah, I mean, I learned from so many other sellers that I watch, because I know a lot about some stuff and then nothing about others. Glass, I know diddly about glass, but I'm learning. I just know that I'm not a big fan of glass, so I wouldn't tend to keep it anyway if I had inherited it. But I did find one glass company that makes some fantastic stuff that I really liked. And Lancaster Glass makes yellow glass that's a real yellow. It's not like that super pale, like some of the Depression glass, the yellow is so pale that the minute you sit it on top of another color, like your tablecloth, it just disappears. And Lancaster Glass has a Sphinx pattern, which I have a bowl, which is in one of my videos because I got it curb shopping. It was in a box of stuff sitting on the curb for the trash. And man, the shock when I went through that box and showed you guys, I was doing it live in the video and went, what is this? And I also have picked up a few pieces of their darts pattern, which is, I like both patterns very much. So I've got a few pieces of those. And I've only the one piece of the Sphinx though, because apparently that one is very hard to find. So that's probably the only glass for the most part I'm going to be having. I'm bigger on pottery. Let's do another piece of ephemera. This is from 1946. This is another one. Because of the condition, I'm going to offer it up for something you can cut apart. It's missing its back cover. It is the October 1946 Science and Mechanics. Now, I love their covers are always such great artwork. But inside, there's, you know, early magazines, so it's that rag paper kind of print. They tell you, I love this one. It's telling you how to fix the lens hood on your camera. But look how old that camera is. And let's make plastic rings. Some of the stuff they have in here to make is just cracking me up. Now, this is cool because they have this boat. They've got all the schematics. That's an entire blueprint of on one page of everything you need to make that boat. So if you do mini work, man, you can even have the rails and everything else. There's a thing in here about modeling in clay. This one really has some cool stuff in it because it's not just woodworking. They've got a sewing thing. But they have a whole thing about pearls from Japan. There's a whole other one about weaving and some different styles of weaving that are from, oh, now I've forgotten which country they were showing. Because it says the art of weaving is not lost. And a lot of what they were showing is images from the East India, from Java, and from Indonesia. So it's got just so much cool stuff in it. And the front is full of fun little ads you can use in your junk journaling. So this is just going to be $6. And it's number 61. $6, number 61 for the 1946 Science and Mechanics book. I have a couple of these that I know I kept somewhere because they have how to repair clocks in them. Not this one, though. Now, let's see. We have embroidery on the list next. Who likes their kitty cats? I have 2 squares that were done up, and they have rickrack. And Fiona, you wanted the Science and Mechanics. Okay. And I have 2 different size embroidered squares. They're done on what feels like 100% cotton. And then they have the pink rickrack. Now, the rickrack's hand sewn, but it looks like the hem, what they call a French hem, because it's folded over twice. So there's no thread edge coming out. That looks like that's on a machine. But this is, they're singing. Well, at least one of them is. Looks like she's singing and he's just not happy. So you have this one, which, oh, get that pen away from it. I don't want any ink on my vintage linens. So it's a 9x8 square. So you get that one. And then you get the little kitty cat who is ironing with an ironing board. Now, she's a little smaller because she's more of a rectangle. She is 7.5 by 9. Now, I think they were, don't sneeze. I think I remember the transfers of these as being the days of the week. See, I grew up with a great aunt that did a ton of embroidery. There was a lot of embroidered stuff at the house of my great grandparents where 2 other great aunts lived. They all knew how to do this stuff. So I think, and I have, whenever I can find them, I have stacks of transfer patterns because I inherited it from the grandmother, from Aunt Harriet, and from Annie Floss and Annie L. So that's what I'm saying. I recognize the picture. So we have both of these. You get both of them. You could make nice, these you could put on nice pillows or whatever crafty thing you want to do. You could frame them to hang them up. And these are $12 for number 53 for the 2 of them. I am guessing with how detailed these are and how tiny, tiny this stitch is, somebody was really, really good at their needlework. But it's $12 for the pair, number 53. There. I see Marilyn. Dang it, I keep doing that. I got to stop doing that. That hurts. Go away. I keep wanting to tilt on the left, and that puts pressure on the left hip, and then it hurts. Which is why I'm going to go get shots in the morning. Okay. Now the other thing I have that is in the linens kind of thing, and this is actually a whole set altogether. So this is a complete set with your antimacassar and your piece for the arms. Now, many of you will not have a clue what it is when I say antimacassar. Macassar was an oil that was for your hair. And so the gentlemen would use that to slick their hair back. The problem is then when they sat in your chairs, the oil would get on the chair. So the piece along the back of the chair was the anti-macassar to keep that oil from getting on the chair and ruining it. So this is the piece that would go on the back of the chair. Now you can see that it's missing 2 of the thready tassel things. So I don't know if you can, I'm not enough of a needle person to know if you can take them off because it looks like they were just looped on, because then you'd have to do it on the other 2. But what's really cool is that this is a hobnail pattern. Can you see all the dots? Maybe if I hold it this way, you can see all these bumps that stick up like hobnail. So it matches your Fenton. The cool part of these is that even if you're not going to use them on a chair, you can use them as doily pieces that are just more creative shapes than just a circle to highlight and show off some of your glass. because you could sit these underneath it. So you get the antimacassar piece, which is the bigger piece, but I've also got the matching armchair, the arm pieces. Now, the arm pieces have all their tassels, but they also have that hobnail pattern to them that has all the bumps. So I see lots of, I did jot Marilyn down for 53. I did get her. Saving chairs from nasty greasers. Yep. Absolutely. And they used to, and when I worked at Joann Fabrics in the 90s, you could still buy them there. They used to make these tiny little clear plastic headed corkscrew pins, and they were meant to screw into your upholstery, and they were meant to hold these on to your chair. That you would screw it in, they were only, about tiny. They were only like that big, and they would just carefully screw into the fabric of the chair and hold these in place. If you ever wondered how these things stayed where they were, that's how. And probably in this house somewhere, there's a few of those little things. But you do have the two pieces for the arms, and you have the antimacassar. So you have the full set if you wanted to use it in your parlor on your good chair. But it is $15 for the full set. It's all hand done, hand crocheted. It's $15 for the set number 81. Learn something new every day? Oh, yeah. I learned all about these because when I went to my great aunt's in Norwood, Annie Al and Annie Floss, when I was real little, this was always on the furniture. At my grandparents', too. Only on the furniture in the parlor, though. They had this late 60s modern type furniture in the living room, but the older furniture in the parlor had this kind of stuff on it. So let's see, that was $15 for the set number 81. All right. You ready for another offer up? Where's that other piece of glass? This is the depression glass. No, it doesn't glow. I already checked. How am I going to show off this thing? Because I want you to see that pattern underneath. Will this be enough? No, not even. Oh, wait, almost. There we go. So this is made by Jeanette. It is the Atom pattern. It is I think 30s. I forgot to write it down the decade. Yeah, I did. I forgot to write down the decade. It is the serving bowl. There are there's not a lot of scratches, but there's one somewhere. Where is it? So there's one scratch that's about half an inch right here, and then there's another one here that is like a tiny little thing. It is pink. It is pink, and it's because there's so much color behind it. It's, some of that depression glass stuff was, really kind of pale. I love that the border goes all the way around, and all of the, all the pattern stuff's on the back, so all the edges and dimension are all there. I love that center one. There we go. I love that center pattern. That's pretty cool. But it is made by Jeanette, and the pattern is, from what I could find out, is called Atom. And I need to put in the start. So this is going to start at 12. I'll give you the measurements. So let me get, there we go. Start at 12. Oh, an atom bowl would not resist apples. Yeah, Randy. So it's 8 inches across. It's 2.5 inches high. So it's 2.5 inches here, and then from here to here is 8 inches across. But it is a lovely piece of Jeanette. There's no chips. There's no cracks. There's no flea bites. It's just, yeah, I like the square shape because it makes it easier to get a hold of it when if you're gonna serve with it, it's easier to get a hold of it and carry it if you're actually gonna use it. The other thing that's neat about the square is if you actually put something inside, then you still have this lovely little floral pattern that you can see and enjoy, even if you have something inside of it. So whether you want to use this as a fruit bowl on your table or fill it with, holiday decorations as a neat little pile, or find a way to just stand it up like this so you can just enjoy the beauty of the piece itself, you have it. So it is a wonderful piece of depression glass. What is it? Atom Colors Jeanette Glass, pink and green. 1930. Oh, really? Only 2 years. Wow. That's cool to know. And it was only made for 2 years. And I managed to find a piece. That's impressive, actually. That's pretty impressive. I happen to be at Goodwill. I think I posted it on my Instagram that I'd hit the depression glass mother lode. And this was one of the pieces. And this doesn't match the other, and you can't see 3 of the other pieces because they're so big. They're big platters, and I don't dare show them unless I absolutely have a way to ship them. And they don't fit in any box I've got. So I'm gonna have to buy boxes to fit. But this I can ship. But I don't see any offers on that, so I have a feeling that's going to be a pass, which is okay, because there's always eBay or there's always other nights. So now let's see. We have, what's next? Oh. We're gonna throw this one. Oh, wait, I see Hope just joined us. Okay. So Hope is in for the pink depression glass for 12. And I'll do going once, going twice. And Hope, I haven't seen you in a long while. Make sure you email me because I'm not sure if I still have your information or not. I had taken a lot of people's information and I archived it in my email folder, but I didn't know that after so many months, they start deleting what's in your archive. So some of the ones I've lost some. Oh, I would love to find some Talavera critters now that I know what they are, thanks to Jocelyn from Crazy Lamp Lady. Hope is in for 12 for the Jeanette depression glass. And we're going to call it out. We'll call that down. I'm so glad this has found a home. We have going once, going twice, and then we'll get da, 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 da. You always want to give it a few seconds, even when. And there's our sold. And it's 12 for Hope. I want to make sure I spell your last name right. Desjardins. Probably massacring that, but well, they're not going to find that in blue because apparently Lou found out that this was made. Let me scroll up and find it. That was Jeanette Glass, Adam Colors. They only made it in pink and green, and apparently from 1932 to 1934. So it's not a common pattern, but you're not going to find that piece in blue. However, I do have another piece of glass that's blue, but it's not depression glass. So since we're talking about glass, why don't we go ahead and do this one? So it is an artist piece. The man's name is Peter Zimmerman. If you look him up, he is still alive. He is still active. He is still producing and selling glass. He has his own website. He has his own Facebook page. His stuff is pricey. And we're going to start this at 20. This is one of his earlier pieces. It is what I used for the thumbnail. I like the kind of almost like a star, you know, the fact that this is all like these nice loops around. And you can see like it's just gorgeous. Now it is signed around here. Now it has Peter Zimmerman and then it says Bahamas. That's where he started making glass, in the Bahamas. So this is one of his earlier pieces. And these are harder to find here in the States. Now he's in Lowell, Massachusetts, and his stuff will say Lowell on it. I looked at his site and he had just a pendant for a necklace for $50. And I got a whole bowl. I do love, and I don't know how he did it because I don't know how he do glass, but so on this side, you see dark blue stripes in the white, right? But if you flip it over, you see white stripes in the white, which I thought was pretty cool. And then there's just a bit of yellow and orange, and I think a tiny bit of green in it just down here that swirls in the center, which I looked at it and it just, I thought with that orange blobs, I didn't have my glasses on, and I looked at it and I thought, is that koi fish in the bottom? And then I put my glasses on. No, it's just little blobs of color. But I just love the optic nature of it. And that this just comes up and swirls into the edge. And when you see this edge up close, can you see it? It's all just little lines. This all swirls and all this edging is just really fine blue lines. It is gorgeous work. It's just beautiful work. I mean, I can appreciate the beauty of this stuff. Maybe if I get close, you can kind of see it there, how it's all thin little blue lines that just pool all together in the glass. It's a lovely piece. Mind you, I was spoiled for 6 years. Working at the Delaware Art Museum, I got to look at Chihuly glass for 6 years every day. Giant Chihuly glass, because they have at the Delaware Art Museum, they have these giant flowers in a window installation. So this is 6 inches across and then stands 2 inches high. So it is a great piece. And you can see now, you can see where the pontil is, but even that is smoothed. It's not rough at all. So it's all nice and smooth. And as I said, it is signed on the back. It's signed Peter Zimmerman. It doesn't have a date on it, but it does say Bahamas. And so that's apparently where he started doing art glass. And he is, as I said, he is still making things today. I only found 2 pieces of his on eBay at the moment. Neither one of them bowls. So then I went and looked for him and found out that he's still around. He's up in Lowell, Massachusetts, and saw the prices that he charges for a brand new piece and went, well, I'm going to give somebody an incredible bargain because I know on my channel, I'm not going to get it that high. But it is such a pretty piece. And, you know, I mean, this is the time of year when we're all pulling out the pretty stuff for the summer and the spring. And yeah, the ceiling at the Bellagio, yes, that is Dale Chihuly, the big flowers. That's exactly what they are. The Bellagio is also Dale Chihuly stuff. But I see who we have. Paula at 32 is the high offer right now. Be careful what I say here in Pennsylvania. So, and I think it has, oh, no, there's Danny Culver, who I don't, you'll have to make sure you send me your information, Danny, because I don't have you. And each color, oh yeah, each color is going to capture a lot. Where is my, now mind you, keep in mind, this is not a white light, it's a black light, but there you can see the little bit of green that's hiding down in there. It's just so cool. And just the littlest bit of the center is what's not completely clear. There is a little tint to it from the colors around it, but you can see through the center part just a little bit. But it is just such a cool piece. And we have, oh, Paula is at 35. We're going to start calling this piece. Have going once. That is so cool. See, when I find nice glass, I'm going to bring you nice glass. I'm not going to bring glass if I can't find cool looking stuff. Because I know you like it. And I think I just misspelled going. Oh, no, there it is, going twice. Yeah, I haven't watched Blown Away. I know about it, though. And I see Danny has come in for 36. Thank you, Hope. I do have a Rolodex now that I can keep stuff in. I finally found an old vintage one, but I have not had the time where I could sit up in a chair for too long and be able to start writing cards out with everybody to put them all in there. And I don't know how to do Excel. And this laptop doesn't even have Office. It doesn't have Windows Office, so I don't have Excel anyway. Oh, and we're gonna put in sold. Da, 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 da. And congratulations to Danny. Danny got it for 36. Danny Calver. Congratulations. And Danny, my email is right there in the corner. So it'll be easy for you to send me your information. It's the usual stuff: name, address, excuse me, the name, the address, and your PayPal email, and your eBay name if it's different from your regular name, your real name, whatever name. Okay, so let's see. What time is it? 12 o'clock. All right. We're doing all right. Now, some of you were here when I had spent the one of the work with me Thursday nights, and we went through and organized my one lone set of shelves that has all the reference books on it. And there wasn't, once we got them all in there wasn't room for all of them. So I had to purge a few. But one of the ones I purged is a general one, which is one of the first ones I had picked up. Flea market treasures. Now, if you're just starting off, the benefit of these general books is that if you read the little, like it has the little paragraph about Hull pottery. It'll have, this one has a paragraph on howdy doody. It's a good overview for you to learn the basics if you can get them for a cheap enough price. Because this is old enough that all the pictures are black and white. Look at the Tarzan picture. So this one, if you wanted to take it apart and use it for junk journaling, you could. If you're into collectibles, read it first. Read all those little paragraphs. Look at the pictures. I've gone through them numerous times looking up all the little stuff that they have, like they have a Hanna-Barbera page. Boy, has that come in handy for me. And then I finally found a book that had better quality of stuff, had color photos in it. So they're always a good thing to help, especially if you're just getting started out. But one of the reasons I look for the Hanna-Barbera is because in the family boxes of the family toys, there's still Hanna-Barbera stuff that I'm finding. And I have probably at least half of the old Flintstones Marx Toy Company playset. So I'm still piecing that together as I find it. So it was a big help for that. So this is the I just looked at it and I don't think I said it. It's the official price guide from the Valentine Publishing Group, who like to call all of their stuff official. And it is the 5th edition from May 1999. Now, the original copyright, if this is the 5th edition, when was the first? So this one says it's from 1999. And I'm just going to give you an absolute great bargain basement price of $5. Yeah, I know. Usually even these tend to run for more than that. But I'm going to let you have this for $5. It's number 45. So, yeah, reference guides help you also find keywords. But I'm to the point now where, like, it says left in China. Hey, look at left in China. This is it. It's just this. I now have 2 books that are on Left in China, and those 2 books don't even include everything that Lefton does. So, and I see Paula. Paula, I was down to only having 1 more box for you. I think it's going to end up being 2 now. So as heavy as this is, this will probably go by itself media mail because it'd be cheaper that way. Oh, ow. Ow. Sorry about the owls. It's just I have not taken one of the painkillers because I cannot have it in my system when they go to give me the shots. It's going to be fun getting to sleep tonight. Oh, the toys that made us? Oh yeah, that was great fun. They could do more seasons of that, really. They really could. I had to laugh because I'm watching the toys that made us on Netflix, and I'm sitting there with my son, and I'm going, we had that, I have that, we still have that. That should be here somewhere. That should be here somewhere. No, I just have parts for that. No, and he's like, how do you remember all this? I'm like, I have no clue. Just the minutia stuff I can remember. Names? Nope. On a weekly basis, I have 30 Boy Scouts in front of me. Do you think I know all their names? Nah, not a clue. But boy, when I worked for 6 years for Walden Books, I hold the record for one Christmas season of being able to find the right book when the customer only could remember what the cover looked like. They didn't know the title, they didn't know the author, but they remembered the artwork. I found 4. We would always start this competition on Black Friday, and it would go until Christmas Eve night when the store closed. And I managed to do it 4 times one year, just by what the cover looked like, just from their description. And I was able to go right to the book because I have a stupid, weird memory. Yes, 80s stuff is really gaining speed, which is all the more reason why I need to get back to the Black Hole Challenge, because hiding in that room is an Army footlocker full of stuff from when I graduated from high school in 1984. Yeah, I want to get to my 80s stuff because the prices for 80s stuff are starting to go up. A competition for what? Who can find the most 80s stuff? I've got stuff from the 1880s on down in this house. Well, actually, some even older. The oldest book I own is The Life and Most Surprising Adventures of Robinson Crusoe Mariner, and that's from 1760, I think. It's a book from the 1700s. And then that clock back there is from 1827, but that's a family heirloom. So you were in 8th grade in 1984. I was 19 in June of 1984, graduated high school. Oh, wow. Lou, that's a lot of earrings. Was it all vintage earrings? Like from the 50s, 60s earrings? I'd love that stuff. Yeah. You know what's funny about that book, Lou, Nettie? is that I got that book for a quarter, that book from the 1700s. Back when I was in my first year at Westchester University, they would have a massive book sale. I don't know if they still do or not. They don't advertise it. Um, and it was this old book, and because somebody at some point had taken carpet thread and put a needle, I don't know, how did they do it without a hammer? I don't know. They put a needle through it and blanket stitched the spine because the book was starting to fall apart at some point. And so they looked at it and went, "I'm not charging you for a dollar for a hardback. That thing's in crap shape." So I paid a quarter for the book. And the last time I had it looked at by a friend of mine that I used to help, who was an antiques book dealer, and he said in the in the late 80s, he said, looking at it, that even in the condition it was in, at that point, it was probably worth about $600 because of its condition. And that was in 1880, in 1988. I almost sold it off then, uh, because I had a chance to go sing in London and I really wanted to go. And he refused to let me sell it. He wouldn't buy it, especially when he found out I hadn't read it yet. Oh, wow. Now, see, that's the kind of thing I inherited. One of the things I inherited was a massive book collection, and I sent pickup truckloads of contemporary books that weren't signed or anything, and I sent them to the Arden Fair in Delaware for the book booth at the Arden Fair, which is a massive book booth. And I kept everything that was signed, that was old, that was first editions, and I spent probably 3 years selling stuff off on eBay. But there's still boxes of books. But at least, I have some areas of my house that no longer have stacks of boxes of books, like down my main hallway and in the back of my dining room and under the kitchen table and in my own bedroom. They were everywhere. They were in one of the storage units too. So, okay, we've gotten that one done. Let's do a where to go. All right, Rabbit, where are you? Okay, let's do the bunny mug. Hi, Tina. I have a cute little bunny mug. I'm trying to get it so the glare is not right on the rabbit. Now, the picture of the bunny blowing bubbles is on both sides. I will get that weird sticker off. Now, this is a Roy Kirkham fine bone china, England. Now, these are a whole series that he did of bunnies. You can find them online. So they are quite collectible. And these are this particular bunny mug. I've never used it. It's in great shape. You can tell, I mean, the sticker's still on it, that somebody couldn't get peeled off when they gave it to me as a gift. But this was another thing, was hiding in the box under my bed. This is because of the value that are on these, for these Roy Kirkham mugs. So if you are a reseller and you see these, snag them. This is $10 and is number 54 for the Roy Kirkham bunny mug. $10, number 54. And what are you saying about Historical Society? Oh, wow. Honestly, Lou, you and Tina could do videos just on these collections you're talking about. Oh, wow. That's cool. So that is, I'll put the bunny mug back over. I know that's high for a mug, but that's actually about par for some of the mugs that have animals on them. I was surprised. Mike went to get me, he wanted to get me a Doctor Who mug, and it was $20 for the mug. Well, I remember mugs being 15. They've gotten real expensive. Okay, this is another one of my own things that's been hiding in a box. It does have made in India on the bottom, but it is a doll. I believe she's a composite, possibly because there's hardly any weight to her, possibly like a paper mache body. And she's got this black fabric sari on, and then the bracelets and the necklace are metal. She has bracelets on each wrist. Her nails are done. Now, I'm not quite sure why her nails are done, but then there's also lines on the backs of the fingers. But I've had her for ages. I think my sister gave her to me. They brought her back from Epcot Center down in Florida. And she stands, she's 8 inches tall, and she doesn't have any problems to her. There's no pools or anything to the fabric. And she is $7, and she's number 22 for the doll made in India. $7, number 22, has her own. She's mounted on a wooden stand. So she stands up nice for you. Now, what else? Let's do these. I didn't think I had any of these in my boxes. So at one point, my mother and I were picking a bunch of these up anytime we saw them because she was going to decorate the kitchen with them, and then she never did. So I randomly find them now and then in the house. This is one that was in the box under my bed. So this is probably one that I got and then she never saw. It says, grow old along with me, the best is yet to be. And it's one of those motto trivets. So it has the little feet. It is the metal. You can use it as, as a trivet, or you can hang, as so many people do, they hang them on the wall for decoration. And this one's in great shape. This one, a lot of times you see them and, there's dust and stuff inside the letters, but this one's never been hung up. So it doesn't have any marks from being in the kitchen. It doesn't have any paint loss to it. I don't know. It says made in the USA. I don't think this is the older ones, because look how thin this one is. When you find the older vintage ones from the 50s, they're a thicker metal. So I think this is a more contemporary one, but it still is a nice little motto trivet. And this is, since it's not an older one, this one is $5, and it's number 10. $5, number 10. And for anybody seeing anything in the playback, if you see something that didn't sell in the video, well, you can always email me and ask me if I still have it. And now, the last 3 things I have are all offer-ups. Let's do the easy one first. This is a crocheted. Now, I know that was covering me up, so I didn't bother to say anything. So This is 40 by 30 inches. 40 inches by 30. Well, Iris, then you just have to email me tomorrow. It does have I like that it has all the pastels, but then it has like a plum color here and then a thin black line here just to give it that contrast. It's not all, pastels. It's the size that could be a lap quilt or a baby blanket, being that it is 40 inches by 30 inches. It's wonderfully soft. But this is, I was going to do this as an offer and I'm forgetting to type it in. We're going to start this at 10. Did it go in? Yeah, it did. Start this at 10. There's no pools. Whoever made it, honestly, I want to know how the hell they hid their knots. I don't know how they hid their knots because I can't hide my knots. My knots are always showing. Now it does have a tag carefully hand stitched on, and it says made with tender loving care for Project Linus, providing security through blankets. And it even has a picture of Linus. Look at it. And it has the website for Project Linus as well. Now, the nice part of these little smaller lap afghans, lap blankets, or even baby blanket, first off, it's nice spring summery colors. I like that it's a stripe that could go well with some people's stuff, with their decor. But these are great to just be throws over the back of the couch, over a chair, so that, we still get these nights where it's just chilly and, you might be sitting there watching TV and your legs start getting cold because you're not moving around and you just need something to pull down and throw over you. But you don't need like you don't need to swaddle yourself up in a giant Afghan. So this is really nice for that. Being that it's 40 inches, you could certainly have it from your lap to the floor, covering down to your shoes. But it's such a neat piece because we are that time of year where, you don't necessarily need a full blanket, but you just need a little something, because much of the country, we're getting the spring rain, we're getting the cool nights. And $10 is a steal because, there's more than $10 worth of yarn in all this. That was the start. But if no one is interested, so there we go. Nettie's in for 10. Nettie is in for 10. Yeah, it's a nice weight too, because some of them, if they're really open pattern with all the holes in them, they don't hold the air, and so they're not really that warm. And this kind is really nice and warm. I have to admit, today while I was doing stuff, I did have this over my lap. But it's such nice colors and would be a great one to have. Good night, Gabby. And so I don't see any other offers besides Nettie. Sit that there, and we'll get our going once in here. Oh yeah, and that is really nice yarn too that it's made out of, because it doesn't, like, some of the cheapest yarns are, the acrylic is kind of scratchy, but whatever this is, I think this is actually wool because it's nice and soft. Like, have you ever felt brushed wool yarn? It's incredibly soft, and that makes me think that that might be. Because it just doesn't have that scratchiness to it like some of the acrylic yarns do. So going twice. Yeah, there's certainly way more than, $10 worth of yarn in that. But it's great. Gabby does a lot of miniature work, and doesn't she have an Instagram? I don't remember what it's called. So if anybody knows what Gabby's Instagram is, um, put it in the chat. She does fabulous miniature work. Just really, really stunning quality stuff. Like my friend Deb Mackey, who does White Horse Studio. She does amazing miniature stuff too, but not the same type of stuff that Gabby does. And we're going to put sold in. So Nettie got that for $10. Okay. Now, before we get to the really kitschy kitty cats, we're going to do the paper dolls. I was really hoping Warren was going to be here, because Warren collects these things, and maybe he could tell me who the heck this one is. So I never did anything with these. I picked them up ages ago, figuring I might decoupage something with them back, I don't know how long ago, but I never did. Now, I was able to identify this one. See the face? This one's Princess Grace. And it's from, I positively ID'd this one. This is the 1999 Princess Grace Kelly paper doll by Shackman, which was a reproduction of earlier Grace Kelly paper dolls. And the reason I know it's the Shackman one, because one of the early paper dolls has this striped bathing suit, but it's the outfits that let me know it's the Shackman. It's not that they're marked in any way. It's just that for the Shackman reproduction, they combined the dresses from two different vintage Grace Kelly paper dolls. So this one is the Shackman one, but this other one is older. I could tell from the way the dresses are printed. Now this is an offer up for both these paper dolls. And so let's get that in there while I'm showing them to you. So even being that the Shackman one alone, the Grace Kelly one alone is worth about almost double that online. Now, but this is the one, and I put it on my Instagram, and nobody said that they knew who this was. She's got legs that go on for days, but I don't know who she is. And she doesn't have any identifying marks on her. So we have her, and then her dresses all have a little letter G on the dresses. And I'm trying to be really careful with them because the paper of these is that older style, thinner papers for paper dolls. So I think she's more from the 60s, whoever she is, and she's got these fabulous dresses that you just know in real life would have had a heck of a petticoat under them. But I couldn't identify who she was. So we have her, whoever she is, and then you have all of the you have the Shackman Grace Kelly one. And this is an offer up and the start. Honey, I would wear those dresses if I could make them. My mother was a professional seamstress. When we could finally get into the dining room, there's an entire wall of fabric. Did she bother to teach her child how to lay a pattern out on a piece of material to make her own clothes? Hell no. But I can do some craft stuff, so I can make like teddy bears and stuff. I can do that. And I used to do all her research, but I don't know how to do my own clothes. So this is, now this one, there is a name written on the back of, I guess, it says Gwendolyn, and then like one of the dresses says Jennifer on the back. So I'm guessing it's that maybe that was the sister's name or the kid's name that owned it. But this is the Shackman. I think because of the clothes, it's the Shackman reproduction. But the Shackman reproduction, you can see where this had to get punched out. So this is what threw me, is because the clothing, I think, might be the Shackman reproduction. But this is the image that the Shackman doll was. But this, I didn't realize this has all the little bitty bumps where they would have been perforated to have to punch her out. So maybe she is older, just like the other one. Wait till you see the outfits. So I see, who was the first one I see in at 10 so far was Fiona. So I see Blackie Jr. at 10. So Jennifer, you'd have to come in a little higher. Now this one is, there's no little tiny pieces. So there's no hats with any of these, but this is this nice sweater jacket. But then they just get better and better. So then there's this nice, 1950s kind of going out during the day. And there's this nice gingham one. And I did check all these. These are absolutely for the Grace Kelly paper doll because they do all match the body, the width, and then you've got this nice evening gown with little shoes sticking out there. And then you have this one, which must be from some movie she did. A lot of material to that. And then we're going to go for the glitz. Honestly, this one just, the original of this sucker would have been all kinds of glitter. And then there's this one where she's holding a mirror, but it's in a kimono with an obi. Which makes me wonder, what movie was that from? I don't know much of my Grace Kelly movies. I don't think she did that many before she got snagged to become Princess of Monaco when she married Prince of Monaco. So you get all those outfits. So this is an offer up for both these dolls. And I really assumed she was the Shackman one, but now the Shackman one doesn't have all that little bits where you would have had to pop it out from being perforated. So maybe she is the vintage one from 1956 or 57. See, there were 2 Grace Kelly paper doll things that I found besides the Shackman one online. And one of them, this one, had a date of 1956 or 1957. Hello, Miss Pamela. Hello, darling. So for all the newbies here, Miss Pamela also has a channel, Pamela Blanchard, and she also does live sales. And I still have to watch it. I wasn't able to watch it live, but you were on with Misty on Thrifter, Junker, Vintage Hunter, and I was not able to be there to see it live. So I have it on my to watch list so I can see what you were doing. I'm sure you two were having a good old time. Oh yeah, kimonos are fantastic. And honestly, I wish I don't want to have to pull out my obies to wear. But the spine doctor did suggest I find a corset to help keep my back straight. And I just, the last time he said that, I just looked at him and I went, uh-huh. And you're a straight white male. Where am I supposed to find a corset? I'm a big old girl. He just laughed. He goes, I don't know, but I have a couple of patients that swear it's making it easier for them. Okay. I've had cracked ribs, so I'd have to have a custom made corset because I've worn corsets when I used to sing operas and operettas, but I've always had to be real picky of where those bones were. And I've gotten too big to fit in the one my mother made me. I was a size 16 then, and I am ever so much more than that now, hun. Oh, just ever so much. Now I've been laughing at this, and I'm now where are we on the offers? Oh, Tina, you make them? That's cool. Now let's see. The high offer that I see is Blackie Jr. So Fiona at 14 is where we're at now. So yeah, I had walking pneumonia and I cracked 5 of my own ribs from the inside out because I was singing opera. So when you sing opera, you have a very, very developed diaphragm for breathing. And when you cough, it punches out. And so I cracked 5 of my own ribs from the coughing fits. And cracks never heal as well as a clean break does. So I still have 3 points on different ribs that if you hit them, I do that because it hurts. And all the kids know if they hug me when they get to a certain height, all my nieces and nephews knew that if they hug me too tight, they would hit the 2 on the side. And corsets invariably are right on top of them. So I always have to make sure that there's no bones right there. My voice is so rusty. I am so out of practice. Miss Pam, I think so. I think the box for Fiona is here from you. If not, it'll be here soon. I'm always getting boxes for Fiona to get shipped out to her because she's in Singapore. So the only cape I have that I still have is I have a green velour cape with fake white fur trim. It goes down about to my knees. Well, I'm losing height already, so it's probably past my knees now. And it has flannel lining because I was hired to do Victorian Christmas caroling. And it was cold in the middle of winter. So I have that cape. I still have that cape. Oh, it's hard to find seamstresses anymore that are for hire now at all. Scrolling back up to see. Jennifer said she was out, so Fiona is at 14. We're going to start calling it. Going once. So, yeah, I inherited so much fabric. When we can finally get into that dining room, there will have to be a fabric sale. I gave so much stuff away. The local there's a place called Fair Acres here in Delaware County, and it's the low income nursing facility, nursing home. You know, it's not really a retirement community, because it's for people with medical issues and that are elderly, and they have a big craft fair every year. I filled up my 2001 Chevy Malibu 3 times, and I mean filled, packed up to the ceiling in the back seat of the car. After the third time I went, they went, you know, we love all this stuff. I mean, they had elastic, bolts of lace, bolts of fabric, boxes of loose button, not just any loose buttons like every grandma's button box or button jar, right? These were warehouse boxes where it was all one type of button, but there were 500 of them in that box. So they were like the manufacturer's bulk lot. And I mean, after the third time, they said, we love it, but don't do this anymore. You filled every storage spot we've got. So, so, so I did get rid of a lot. There were some prom gowns that were never finished. And there were some bridesmaids dresses that were finished or just needed hemming or needed that last fitting and the bridesmaids dropped out. I took all of that to the local high school and I dropped off 12 dresses and said, and I saved them as I found them and I sent them and took them down. And, you know, prom is usually May. And I took them down in the beginning of April, the first week of April that year. And I made a point of talking to the home ec teacher and said, anybody who you can find who doesn't have a dress, see if any girl wants to finish them and they can have them as prom dresses. And these were in satin, most of them. So 14, I think I took 14 dresses down. So 14 girls got free prom gowns. Because what am I going to do with them? They weren't going to fit me. But yeah, there's just so much stuff. So, but it's funny, it's like my son can sew basic stuff. He took home ec sewing and she taught him. She taught 2 of the granddaughters. I would bet, come on, teach me how to lay a pattern out for clothing. Because you know there's stretch to some fabrics and you have to have it the right way, and never taught me how to do any of it. Drives me nuts. You know, your kid was your own daughter was begging for it, yet you taught the grandkids. Drove me crazy. So let's see, our paper dolls were sold to, I just realized I didn't write it down, Fiona for 14. Okay. All right. Now, let's do the last offer up. These incredible cats. Now, are these not the most kitschy looking things you'd ever seen? Absolutely cool. Now, this is what surprised me, because I thought they were, you know, like those spaniels that people would get and put on their mantelpiece that face each other. No. You know what these are? They have little plastic stuff. Well, no, yes, they do. They have their plastic stoppers. I will. And they have made in Japan little paper label. They have holes in their heads. These are the biggest honking salt and pepper shaker set I've ever seen. I wondered. Now, you guys told me go find Fiona's comment. Oh, okay. I will do that. I have a box for him. He told me to wait until April, the first week of April, so I can do that. He's gonna have a box going out in the next two days, and I'll sneak them in there. Thank you. He'll love them. I will ship them to Warren. He will be so surprised. And he watches the playback. He told me one time he watches the playback, but he never reads the live chat. So you don't have to worry. He won't know. It'll be a surprise. So these guys are an offer up. I have never seen any salt and peppers this big. We are going to start these are so impressive. We're going to start these at 10. Now I found somebody had just one on eBay and they had it listed for $10 just for the one, and they got it too. And they didn't even say it was a salt and pepper shaker, but they are. I mean, they've got the holes in their heads and they've got these huge, now they look like dogwood flowers to me because they've got the little berry looking thing in the center and then the big white petals, but there's more petals than there would be. And they both still have that paper made in Japan blue and white little sticker. They have been cleaned. I made sure there's and I don't know that they were ever used because nothing came out of them to clean them up. The only thing that was wrong when I found them was they had dust on them. The way they did the heads is kind of strange because they didn't bother to paint any eyeballs in, but they just I don't know if they're, I mean, water sprinklers for ironing, I don't know. They only have 2 holes. Wait, that one does have 3. Okay, so this one has 2 holes, and then this one has 3 holes. I think they are for salt and pepper. And if you look at the backs are all textured as well. Like these are all raised up, but they're not quite full flowers. And then it's really weird because this one has a dot of white, and that's under the glaze, but it's white paint that they used on here. So I don't know if somebody thought they were supposed to do the flowers on the back and then they stopped him. But the nice part of that is that it helps you know which one is the one with only 2 holes if you're seeing them from the back. Because otherwise, they'd be exactly identical from the back. So with that little white dot, you can tell them apart. But they are the biggest thing. It's 9¼ inches tall. Now, I grew up with my great-grandmother, who then it went to her daughters, and they continued it. I grew up with a massive salt and pepper shaker collection. And in the days before eBay, we didn't know any better, and we were selling them all for $5 a set. Now, for all those, when we had to pack them up when Annie Floss died, I stopped counting When I got to 300 pairs that I had packed up, and Mom was packing them, and Phyllis was packing them, everybody got a chance to pick some and take some. And I mean everybody, all the cousins, everybody got a chance to take salt and pepper shakers. And we were still packing up hundreds of them. And nothing was this big. So these are the biggest suckers I've ever seen. And if you like cats, you can't have anything more kitschy looking than these suckers. Really, with those flowers. Come on, that just screams of anything kitschy cat. That's it. Yeah, they are kind of creepy because the eyes just aren't there. So where are we at for the offer? Dana Calver is in at 15. So we are at 15 right now. I see Spruced and Gussied has come in. Jody has come in. So, but we are at 15 right now for the offer. There's no chips. There's no cracks to them. They are staring at you. Look, how many of you wake up to this with the cat staring at you? Feed me. I'm starving. The bowl has 5 or 6 pieces of food in it, but I'm starving. How many of you wake up to a cat in your face? But, 9 1/4 inches tall. Biggest salt and pepper shakers I've ever seen. Made in Japan. I mean, really, what decade do you think? I'm thinking 60s. Maybe 70s? What do you think? So I see Randy in at 16 for the giant pair of salt and pepper shakers. Honestly, these things. Yeah, you wouldn't have to fill them very often. They are just so much fun. They cracked me up. They just cracked me up. They are a great pair. And I see Danny is out. And hi, Crafty Kitty. So I don't see any more bids coming and offers coming in. I'm going to start calling this. So we have going once. We are at 16 with Mr. L. Page. Oh, I see Suzanne Dotson has come in for 17 for the big old suckers. I mean, look, they're bigger than my head. 9 1/4 inches. They are bigger than my head. They are the biggest salt. These are bigger than those old Tupperware ones my mother used to have. The Tupperware salt and pepper shakers. These suckers are so big. They would look good on your mantle though. One at each end, or together. Just even as decorative pieces. Forget the fact that they're salt and pepper shaker. Just as a decorative set. They're really cool. And I see Randy's at 19. Suzanne is out. So we'll do going twice. Sit these over here. And if that's all there is, we will. Why is the tea always gone? And we'll put sold in. So they are sold for 19 to Mr. L. Page. Thank you very much, Randy. Now, it's 1 o'clock. We can do the go through of what did not sell so far tonight for those who are coming in. Yeah, that is a heck of a pair. Looking for overall patterns. Ooh, I don't think I've ever come across them. So we have the 1970s Walt Disney World, made by Walt Disney Productions, salt and pepper set. Now these are smaller. These do have rubber stoppers, but they also have a gold and red label sticker that says Japan. Ow! Hey, what? And speaking of cats, come here. Do you want to come up now? You always want to pester, don't you? Well, you're not gonna. Okay. You coming up? Meow. You have to stand up because I can't bend. Oh, you big old thing. Say hello, doctor. Say hello. No. This is the doctor, for those of you that don't know. Yes, named after Doctor Who. If the TARDIS in the back didn't clue you in, this one's mother was named River Song. Her sister is named Rory, because we thought Rory was a boy, and she's not. The doctor, I thought was a boy, and she's not. And the other two, which were fostered and then got adopted as a bonded pair, yeah, she's gotten big since Gandalf died. We had a stray that we got to where he was coming into the house and became a house cat, and Gandalf passed away a year ago, and since then she's just bulked up. It's raining again too. Oh crap. It's raining again. It'll be leaking again. We're not even gonna think about that yet. But she usually almost every sale she decides she wants attention during the sale. So, so the doctor here. We've tried having other cats come in. I was trying to get a kitten from outside who I named Morgan Le Fay, who's all black. And this one scared the crap out of her. So Morgan took off and bolted and has been outside from the end of December on. And she's now all of maybe 10 months old, and she's now pregnant. So in my descriptions, you'll see a thing that says buy me a coffee. Oh, now I have super chats as well. Anytime I get any of those, it goes towards feeding all these cats because I am determined. She's fixed, but I am determined to get Rory fixed. And once Morgan has her kittens, we're getting her fixed so they can do, if nothing else, if we can't find an organization that'll take them and foster them to become pets, then they'll at least TNR them, trap, neuter, release, so that they get some health care. And because she won't let me bring a female cat in the house. We finally figured out that's the problem, because she had no problem with Big Daddy, who was a stray. In my neighborhood, unfortunately, people like to dump cats. And then she had no problem with Gandalf. Again, it was a male. But the female, she doesn't seem to want them anywhere around, won't let them near me, so I'm feeding them outside. Yes, Morgan Le Fay. That was the name for the little black cat. And she's been bringing around one about the same size. Oh, thank you so much, Fiona. We need a name for one that has a broken tail. The tip of his tail is like this. I'm pretty sure that one's a boy. He hangs out with Rory and he hangs out with Morgan. So Rory, I know, is Morgan's mother. So I think this other one is one of her kittens too. But somebody's done something to him. It is a boy. He is absolutely terrified of people. If I go out in the yard, he vanishes. we've just gotten to the point where I can stand at the window of the kitchen door and he'll still come up and eat. We've been trying to work on that for 2 months. That's how terrified he is of people. So we have another one now, a boy we have to name. And I'm really kind of thinking Crookshanks because of the crook in the tip of his tail. Because the last 2 inches of his tail are a right angle. They are just, it's just broken right over. But Rory is the one who's finally gotten him to come around. So, all right. Yeah, we have an SPCA here, but they now want unless it's a special deal they're doing, they want $85 to fix the cat. And they don't want to deal with feral cats. So if you say it's a stray from outside, they don't want to do it. But there is another place that's half an hour's drive away that they did her, and they're $50 if to get them fixed, and they'll give them a rabies test, and they'll test them for feline leukemia and feline AIDS. So, all right, let's try to do this one-handed. So we have the pair of the Walt Disney World Castle salt and pepper shakers. And it does say Walt Disney Productions. I was able to do research and date that these are from the 70s. And these were $10 for the set and were number 74. $10 for the set, Walt Disney Productions, salt and pepper shaker set, and number 74. Now, we also have this lovely little bud vase. It is Bohemia glass, made in Czechoslovakia, still has the original sticker, has this great little image. There she goes. Ugh. You are so stinking heavy. And you're coming up on when you'll be having to go to the vet to get your yearly shots. She likes our vet, though, so it's no problem getting her to the vet. Just getting her there is the problem. No offer up on the doctor. I'm not giving up my fur baby. I don't like that she's an only child right now. But I can't have a dog. There's no space. And I don't really want a kitten because I'm afraid we'll lose it in the pile somewhere. So this is a neat little piece. There is a cool pattern here, which I can't quite get it to show, where it's got the little hobnail kind of bumps in the center and then almost like a flower going around. I forget what I had said, 3 inches tall this thing is. Yeah, 3 inches tall. Nice, beautiful little piece. No. And this is $10, number 13, for the wonderful Czechoslovakian glass. $10, number 13. I was going to do an April Fool thing. I was going to have the Queen come on, but I need to be up again at 7 o'clock in the morning so I can get shots in my spine. And now let's see what else. The anti-macassar set. I have that, which is I mean, this is some amazing crochet work because it looks so solid. That's some amazing thread work. But you have the piece for the back of the chair, and you can use these as doilies, or you can do some other artwork with them. And I have the 2 pieces for the arms. And the beauty of these is you can always use these for your you know, to put underneath your glass stuff, because especially if you have colored glass, having a doily under them can sometimes really set them off nicely. And so you get all three handcrafted vintage pieces. And this was $15, number 81 for those. The bunny mug. Now this is a girl bunny blowing bubbles. It's on both sides. It's never been used. It is a Roy Kirkham fine bone china, England, and he's done a whole series of bunnies. Apparently these bunny things are quite collectible. There's a whole big series of stuff he's done with his bunny artwork that you can find online. And this bunny mug is $10. It's number 54. $10, number 54. Yeah, Judy, I don't know why that one has tassels, because you don't usually see the tassels very often. I mean, I remember seeing some, but I don't think too many people just make them with the tassels. Fiona for the mug. Okay. And we have the Made in India doll. She does have her little paper sticker there. She is most likely I believe she is a composite, maybe a paper mache body. Really nicely painted face. They've done a nice job on her. She has a black sari with this little silver trim all the way around, and then has little metal bracelets and necklace. And she is $7. She's number 22. $7, number 22. And the last thing was the iron trivet. And as I said, this was not, the older ones are thicker, but these motto trivets have been around for a long time. This one's never been used. It is made in the USA, which is all it says on the back down here on the bottom. But this one is Grow Old Along With Me. The best is yet to be. Motto trivets, some people do collect them, usually to decorate their kitchen, but this one is in really good condition. It is a newer one because of the fact that it's not as thick. That's pretty much the only way I've found to date them. I do have some older ones. As I find them, they'll be showing up in the sales. But the nice part is this one, all the white paint for on the lettering is still there. It hasn't worn off any on gold rings or on the hearts. And this was $5 for the metal trivet number 10. $5, number 10. And there it goes. Oh. Are they wedding rings, you think? I couldn't decide if they were wedding rings or not. I figured they probably were. So that's everything. I know it's not as much as we normally have, but I wanted to make sure that I was done before 3 a.m. because sometimes we chat and joke around, and I usually have more things, so we usually keep going, but I have to be back up again at 7 a.m. Well, at least let's put it this way. 7 a.m. is when the first alarm's going to go off. No, wait, 7 a.m. is when the second alarm's going off. The first alarm's going to go off at 6 o'clock in the morning. And I probably will turn it off and not even remember hearing it. And then the second one goes off at 7. And if that doesn't work, Mike will be home after 7. So then he'll make sure he drags me out of bed by 8 o'clock so that I can be at the doctor's office. They're shoving me in so I don't have to wait another week to get these shots in my spine. So I get these trigger point injections. I won't be in anywhere near as much pain, which um, they wanted me to go for a while without them just to see how much has improved from the 2 pinched nerves. And it is just still 1 pinched nerve, but you know, I do need those suckers. I still need to have the injections. So, next week, next Thursday, I will be live. That will be because I'm not having a dedicated space, because we have so many new people here. I'll quickly explain that. I do live sales every other week. I recently did 2 in 2 weeks because I needed to readjust the date of when they were on, so that when we get to when I'm away for Boy Scout summer camp, that wouldn't be a sale week. That'll be the last week of July. So next week will be a work with me. It might be an unboxing. I might set the camera up with one of the ring lights if I can get that sorted out, where we'll work partly on one room on a black hole challenge, or we just go through a couple of boxes of stuff, and we talk about what I find. It gives you guys a chance to ask me questions too, and it's usually kind of fun because, like I said, even I don't at this point, even I don't know what's in all these boxes. So it's like a mini treasure hunt when we do an unboxing. And then the following 2 weeks from now would be another live sale. And I'm beginning to find so many little animal things that it might be a theme sale. If I could find enough animals, I think the next sale might be an animal sale. I mean, I've even found a kangaroo. That was a surprise. Now, granted, I mean, there are some animal things that I collect because I inherited a few from a friend, and then I've added to that is Goebel makes some really cool wild animals, and I have the penguin set, and I have, because it's 3 little penguins, and I have a groundhog, and I have an owl. I've got a couple of little ones of those, and but none of these are Goebel. They're all kinds of variety of things that have animals on them. Everything from turtles to a kangaroo figurine. This is stuff. Some of it's mugs, some of it's figurines, some of it's plates. But I'm beginning to acquire a lot of stuff with animals on it. So that's quite possible that 2 weeks from now, that sale will be a themed sale of all animals. And I'm pretty sure I have more bunnies, but I don't know that I have any dolphins. And I found an amazing tiger, but it's dusty as can be, so I have to very carefully figure out how to clean all the nooks and crannies. Any unusual cake pans? I know I have 2 Wilton figural cake pans, but I don't know of what. I'd have to look. I know where they are too. I don't think we've ever used them. So I'll have to look. So Judy, shoot me an email to remind me about the cake pans, and then after I get back from my shots tomorrow, because I know where they both are. I know I can get my hands on them. One of them is up in the closet on the 3rd floor. So, oh, not those type? What do you mean? What other kind of type of cake pans is there? Oh, you mean like, hang on a minute. Where is it? Right now it's holding stuff, but do you mean like this kind? Now, mind you, this has got all kinds of swirly. You mean like that kind? Like the old kind, which is what this one is? Because this one right now is holding a bunch of pens. There we go. Okay, that kind. Okay. Well, I know I have that one once I empty it. I might have one or two more of that older kind. At least one more if it's where I think it is. The question is, can I actually get to it? Because we haven't even gotten into my mother's pantry because I can't get in the door. So I can reach around the shelves. That's about it. So all right. Let me make a note of that. Actually, I should just write it on here. Oh, stop raining. It stopped and now it's raining harder. Old cake pans. I know I should have another one that's a figural one like the lamb, but I don't know if it's a lamb or if it's a rabbit. I'll look and I'll let you know, Judy. So, and you collect cloisonne? Jody collects dust. Yeah. Yeah, I got a good collection of dust here, I can tell you. Okay. Good. I keep notes. So, um, so that was everything tonight. And I hope you guys all had fun. And I'll look forward to seeing you next week. And oh, for your granddaughter. Oh, cool. So I need to go because I need to get to bed. I also need to check the leak upstairs and see if I need to empty a bucket because that leak has gotten very, very bad. And I can't get out on the roof anymore because I can't kneel. So I can't crawl, which means I can't get in and out the window to the only flat spot on the entire blasted roof. I also know I found two more pieces of shingles on the ground at the side of my house. Not good. So that's a big, big goal for this year is having to get a new roof because this is a 10-room house, 3 floors, and there's a lot of peaks and dormers up there because the house went this way, went straight across, big old peak and third floor windows in 1911, and then in 1935, and they went okay. So you had this, and then they went this way with a little bit over here. So it's not quite an L, but it meant for a lot of weird peaks. And we had a tree limb that broke my house. There's a video about that tree limb. It broke my house. Uh, I think I was in shock when I made that video. I think it must have hit higher up before it landed where it landed. It must have because somewhere there's got to be a hole because the water literally just streams in. So yeah, roofs are super expensive, and I don't have a formal job anymore except reselling now because of the pinched nerve in my spine. So it's a mighty big goal for me to have to reach. I'm going to be looking for grants. Definitely be looking for grants and see what I can do. But that's why I'll be having live sales and YouTube. I've got live sales and eBay, and I got Etsy, and I need to update both those stores. But thank you for everything, Fiona. Thank you for the super chat. That was very sweet. Anybody on the replay, there'll be a link if it isn't already on there for buy me a coffee. that stuff goes to helping feed and maintain the outdoor kitties until I can get them rescued. And that's about it. That's all I can think of. I hope you guys had fun. I saw a lot of new people tonight. Glad to have you here. By all means, subscribe. And when you do, hit that bell notification and set the notifications for all notifications. Because I do occasionally manage to get videos up. So this way you will get a notification of when they come up, because my life just does not have enough structure to it to get a video up every week, or to get it up at a set time every week. So, because it all depends on how well my spine feels. So, hopefully going forward, you'll be seeing a lot more videos. You'll be seeing, the plan is to start seeing drop sales by the end of April, which today is April 1st. We are now into April. So, because some stuff I found, like doing jewelry, there's no good way for me to show it to you. So I'm thinking of doing that as a drop sale, as a video, because then I could get better up close pictures. So those should be starting to come during this month. That's the goal for this month, is to get some of them going. And watch for the invoices. I will. It is not uncommon for you to wait at least a week to get an invoice, because I am very backlogged, and I am working on that. I gave a very honest, it was hard to do, but last week I gave a very honest look to all of you guys of what I'm dealing with, how little space I have to move, and one of the reasons why it does, just the setup I have is so bad, it does create a backlog unto itself, not only because of my spine, but the shots tomorrow will help. And as we get things cleared out of here, and then we can get back to that black hole challenge, it'll give me more space so that it can get more streamlined, and things will keep going faster and faster to get the turnaround for shipping. So bear with me if you don't see an invoice right away in the first 4 or 5 days. If you're worried about it, or you need something right away, by all means, let me know. Send me an email, let me know. So the benefit of being backlogged, though, is that I combine shipping, and I absolutely combine shipping for various sales. All right. So I will see you guys next Thursday night. We'll do a work with me, whether it's on the pile directly or an unboxing of boxes from the piles. I don't know yet, but I'll figure it out by then, and we'll have some fun. And I'll see you all then. Good night.